Welcome everyone to Worth It or Not. I'm your host Scottish Warrior 92, and in today's Worth It or Not we're going to be talking about some Star Trek. We're going to be talking about the sequel to the 2009 hit Star Trek by J.J. Abrams. Well, directed by J.J. Abrams, but the reboot to the Star Trek movie franchise. And as you can tell, I saw it in 3D. And these glasses look utterly fucking ridiculous. I'm taking them off and putting my normal ones back on. Yeah, I saw it in 3D. I wanted to see it as soon as possible, so the only version that they had showing within the time slot I was gone was in 3D. Gotta say this right now, I don't mind 3D, the Star Trek. I'll get this right, was the 3D in Star Trek worth it? Hell fucking no. There was only like a little whoom, couple of things like thrown at the screen. The 3D was fucking garbage. Like, I literally took these off a few times, it was just fine, but just seeing 2D is fine. There's no major reason to see it in 3D besides a few things flying at your face. So yeah, firstly, stop doing 3D. Or at least if you got to do 3D, do it right. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm a bit of a fan of Star Trek. I have a badge here. It's the Voyager one, because I like Voyager, kinda. But yeah, I went to see it today, and I'm actually just back no longer than an hour from seeing it. And I want to give my opinion on it. Now, I said this will be a spoiler-free review. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't gone to go see it. And there goes my phone. Now, I really should stop putting this on silent. Sorry, but that's, I just need to double check. Maybe I just make sure it's not important. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, so here it is basically. Firstly, a lot of people may ask, like, what's my opinion on the first Star Trek? I did a review long ago, but that was before I was taking this seriously, so I wouldn't recommend watching it. For fuck's sake, I'm popular apparently. I'm putting this on silent. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Just gotta set this on silent. There we go. Just make sure it doesn't interrupt me again. But yeah, I actually like the reboot to the Star Trek franchise. Now, how big of a Star Trek fan am I? I've seen Deep Space Nine. I've seen the Generation Star Trek films. I've never seen the original with the original cast like Kirk and all. I've never seen those ones. I've never seen the original Star Trek series. I've only seen Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, Next Generation, and that's it. So yeah, I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but I am a fan enough to get a badge, which is fucking awesome. I love it. But yeah, so when this reboot was coming around, I was like, yeah, I'll go and see it. I saw it. I loved it. I enjoyed the Star Trek reboot. It was enjoyable, fun, and also was a very good adaptation from what I could remember from my experience with the original series, which is only like a couple of clips here or there, a couple of episodes I've caught every now and then. I haven't seen the full, so I have seen bits and pieces of the original series, but I've never seen the full thing, and I could never make it past the full episode. Sorry. So I kind of just contradicted myself when I said I'd never seen it. My memory's like a sieve. I do apologise about that. But yeah, when was I excited for the sequel? Hell yes, I was really excited for it. Especially when it announced that Benedict Cumberbatch, and for those who don't know who he is, he starred in the TV series Sherlock, and in my opinion is a fantastic actor. He was cast as a character who was called, who I'm going to call John, because I think his first name in the movie is John, but he does actually play a bit of a character that is very iconic with the Star Trek franchise, and if he didn't pull it off properly, would have pissed off a lot of people. I can't really say who he is without spoiling it, but let's just say everyone's probably guessed who he is. But yeah, everyone's probably guessed who he is, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't, so yeah, I don't want to... Stop that! I'm Dane Instinct here to tell you who he is, but I can't. I can't tell you who he is because it would spoil it. But he does play a very iconic character that a lot of people love, and let's just say the pronunciation of his name has become sort of a little meme for Kirk. I'm not gonna say, I'm probably already spoiled it, but I gotta say flat out who he is. But I'm gonna say this right now, he done a fantastic job. So, firstly, what's the plot? Basically, the plot is that an agent of Starfleet has gone rogue, and the Enterprise is sent out to basically stop him. That's the plot in a nutshell, but there is a lot more to this that I can't actually talk about because it would spoil the movie. For I'd probably have to go into deep spoilers to talk about it. But I can tell you now, that's the overall plot. Kirk versus Benedict Cumberbatch. That's basically all I can say. And it is really well done. It's absolutely fantastic. The story has a good start, good middle, good end. Really enjoyable. I loved it. And I'm going to say this right now. It does exactly what a sequel should do, in my opinion, which I fucking am grateful for. It is bigger, badder, and better. I actually think this is actually better than the reboot, than the first one, which it should be. A sequel should be an improvement on all of the flaws from the first installment. And while this movie does have a couple of flaws here or there, like a couple of little Machina things, Deus Ex Machina things that you're like, really? Really? Yeah, and a couple of effects here or there didn't look that good, and some action scenes were a bit cheesy, but overall really enjoyable. And as the story was, I actually held the toilet the whole time. By the time I went out of the pictures, I was literally, there was a fountain of freaking urine pouring out, and there's an image for you, me pissing. But yeah, the story had me gripped. The story was enjoyable. There, as I say, a couple issues here or there. Did I think it was like Oscar-winning performances? Some of them actually, Cumberbatch actually done such a performance. I think he does deserve a fucking Oscar for it because he's done such a fantastic fucking job. The effects are phenomenal. The effects are as good as they are in Star Trek, and some of them are even better. A lot of practical effects as well, with like the aliens, like the background aliens, like the ones with like the weird head shapes and all the stuff like that. There's a lot of them in this film. There's still a good chunk of them in there in the background, but very well done on that instance. Of course, Kirk is himself. I've got to say it's right. There's actually quite a bit of there's actually a lot of development of characters in this movie. I'm mostly fixated with the character of Kirk and Spock. They two characters, of course, are, let's face it, the flagship of this new series. While the other characters do their parts, these are the two characters that we're focusing on and seeing them evolve as friends and as characters. Now, every character does get their time to shine. Uhura gets her time to shine. She's a pretty badass scene, I'm not going to lie. Scotty gets his fucking time to shine, which, I'm going to admit, Simon, he isn't in as much as I would like. Simon Pegg is one of my favourite actors. His Scottish accent, I'm going to say this right now, a lot of people have said, that's one of the worst Scottish accents I've ever heard. But look back to like the first Star Trek and the original Star Trek. Even I know what Scotty fucking sounds like. He does a decent Scotty impression, but he adds his own little flair to it. And trust me, I've heard that Scottish accent does exist in some parts of Scotland. Not as my accent isn't as thick as that, but there are plenty of people who I've heard have an accent that thick. Chekhov is there. I'm gonna be honest, he's actually not in the film that much. He does get a pretty damn epic scene though. Sulu gets his. He doesn't get a badass scene, but he does get a badass scene, but he doesn't get an action scene in it per se. Like in the first Star Trek, he got his like samurai fencing skills showing off. That was impressive in that film. In this film, I don't want to say what he does. I'm not sure if this considered spoilers, but he gets to be like, he gets to sit in the chair. That's what I'll say, and he gets to show off his intimidation factor. Sulu character has always been that that character that everyone makes fun of and all that. He actually gets a fucking he basically has the intimidation thing where he just literally has to bluff his way out of something, and it's phenomenally well performed. I think it's John Chow done a fantastic job with that scene. He literally had shivers down my spine. It was awesome. Bones does get his time to shine in some scenes, like his own wee way. He does get to perform pretty well, and is definitely done good. In all honesty, every character does get their moment to shine, which is really well done. Firstly, I'm going to say, a lot of people, I know someone's going to ask me about, like, Wallace, which is the new science officer that comes aboard the Enterprise when they're going after John. The one in the trailer who was seeing her underwear, in all honesty, she kinda didn't have a point in the entire film. She was only there for one particular reason involving the film. That's actually the worst part of this film, in my opinion, is her character. She literally, the only reason she's there for there is for an event for later on in the film when they have to use her for something. I'm not going to say what it is. That's the only reason she's kind of there. They try and string on like why she's there, but it's a bit weak in my opinion, and overall it's okay. I kinda wish they didn't, but she really, would the film be any worse without her? No, not really. Would it be any better without her? No, not really. She's sort of like in the middle. overall, as I said, I can't really talk too much about without going into spoilers, as I say. That's the whole point of this review. But I'm going to answer it right now. This film, if you like the first one, it is worth every penny. It gets a worth it from me. It is worth a watch. If you haven't seen it yet, go and see it. And I'm going to say this right now. Whether you're a Star Trek fan or are completely oblivious to the Star Trek stuff, which I don't know how, you're going to enjoy this film. But even like someone like me, who's never watched the entirety of the original Star Trek series or seen any of the original cast movies, there is quite a lot of fucking references in this film. There's a lot of subtle and big references throughout the film in some scenes, especially when it gets towards the climax. There's quite a few references, especially to some very iconic scenes from the second Star Trek film, Wrath of Khan. I'm not sure if that's I can say that right now. I actually have only seen clips and bits and bobs from the Wrath of Khan, but there are a lot of scenes from Wrath of Khan that are emulated or changed in a way in this Into Darkness. But it's done so well, and I think if fans are really... I can tell right now some die-hard fans are going to be extremely pissed off at it, but a lot of fans and people who love Star Trek will probably like it. This film definitely does show the fact that this was made by someone who likes Star Trek, but isn't obsessed with Star Trek. Like, he loves the series, he loves what it stands for, but he or she, they love what it stands for, but they're not overly obsessive about it. They don't want to recreate it. They want to add their own flair to it. And definitely J.J. Abrams and the rest of the cast did that very, very, very well, and I loved it for that. I'm going to be honest, there's a bit of a Deus Ex Machina thing at the end involving John and some other little thing, but it's passable. You're just like, they set it up early enough in the film that you're like, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to say what it is, but at one point, let's just say, a trouble saves the day. Let's just say that. And for those who know what a trouble is, yes, there's a trouble in this film. A trouble saves the day, basically. In a big way, a little bit. But yeah, there's a couple of nice wee references here or there, and I do enjoy it for that factor. So even if you're a die-hard fan, you'll probably love it. If you're a normal Star Trek fan, you'll love it. If you're not a Star Trek fan at all, I think anyone can enjoy this film. I enjoyed every minute of it. I think it's worth every penny and definitely worth watching in the cinema. Unfortunately, hopefully you have better luck than me, because I'm going to be fucking honest. Our projector in our cinema broke 3 times. Luckily enough, it was during the ads. It broke 3 times during the ads and the trailers, so I didn't get to see any new trailers or anything. It luckily enough just cleaned itself up and fixed its way through the entire of the film. So I got to see the film, didn't get to see any trailers, which is a wee bit pissed off because I like seeing the trailers. But yeah, I enjoyed Star Trek Into Darkness. I'd highly recommend, if you like the first one, you're going to like Into Darkness. Do I think I loved it. I enjoyed every minute of it. Are there problems with it? Yeah, but in my opinion, there are more pros than cons. Really enjoyable, had a lot of fun with it, and I definitely would recommend if you're even planning on going to see it, go and see it right now. It is worth every penny. I had so much fun watching. I'll tell you right now, good action film, good Star Trek film, good geeky film. You'll definitely have a bit of geekiness while you're watching this. I know I did. I was like, it's awesome. And I'm going to be honest right now, the star of this entire film is Cumberbatch. He is fucking awesome. If you've never seen Cumberbatch and act in any way, shape or form, when you watch this film, you'll want to see everything that he's ever acted in. And I would highly recommend the TV series Sherlock. Fan-fucking-tastic series. Cumberbatch is an awesome actor in that, and he's an awesome fucking actor in this when he plays that role. So Cumberbatch is the star of this fucking show, and I loved him in every badass scene that he was fucking in. And I hope that he does come back for more films, because as I say, I'm not going to say what happens, but let's just say there's a chance for him to come back. I hope that he comes back again, because he was so fucking awesome in this film, and I loved every minute of it. He made this film. He didn't, as I said, every actor in the film done their job, every character done their job, but just that little addition of Cumberbatch was fucking awesome. Literally when he appeared on the screen, I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And the scene from the trailer where he's talking to Kirk, that scene sends chills down my spine. I was like, oh, so fucking awesome. It's just because Cumberbatch has that kind of acting ability. He portrays a character who thinks he's better, who doesn't think he's better than anyone. He knows he's better than everyone. That's just, in the series Sherlock, he does that as well. He does portray the character of Sherlock as the character that, I know everything. I am better than you. I know what to do, but I want to help you at the same time. He's that kind of character. Like he believes he's better than you. In fact, he can prove that he's better than you, and you will so much believe it that you'll be like, maybe this guy is better than me. He does that really well. And Cumberbatch, fantastic actor, fantastic performance in this film. Definitely made the film for me. So yeah, go see Star Trek Into Darkness. Fantastic film. Enjoyed every minute of it. Highly recommended for the clan. Go and see it now. Okay? Now, oh shit, I've got to teleport out here, but my thing's not working. I can't get in touch with my ship. Oh well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. As always, I'm Scottish Warrior 92. And go and see Star Trek Into Darkness right now. Go!